The book mentions a few famous women that were outstanding at their times. We have Domitila de Castro, Marquesa de Santos, who was best known woman in Brazil after the Empress Leopoldina. She was the emperor's mistress. And Leopoldina was, they say, very intelligent. The Empress Leopoldina, and a loyal woman. Had 6 children and died from the complications of the 7th pregnancy. Born in Austria, loved to be in Rio, and her death in 1826 discredited Pedro in Brazilians, preparing for his downfall. So they actually loved Leopoldina more than Pedro. She was more popular with the Brazilians than Pedro. Encarnacion Ezcurra is the wife of the Argentine caudillo Juan Manuel de Rosas and played a very important political role behind the scenes. She wrote her husband's detailed political reports, and although Rosas claimed that she was a heroine of the Federation, the banner on her caskets were good mother, faithful wife, and ardent patriot. Manuela de Rosas was the daughter of Ezcurra and Rosas, Juan Manuel de Rosas, and her nickname was Manuelita, or La Niña, and she managed all the public relations of her father's rule. She was very diplomatic. She was much better, hostess in all the gatherings that his father will have with, foreign officers and other government officials. So to all Buenos Aires, she was known as La Niña, and she was one of the most popular people in public life at the time of Juan Manuel de Rosas. So women at the time were supposed to cook, clean, sew, and take care of children at home. And, some of their duties were laundry, to wash, starch, and iron. Fun, huh? Women of higher status continued to suffer the tyranny of the honor system. Women who had achieved ideals of chastity or motherhood were the only women who were honorable. So the social class depended on wealth. The caste laws disappeared, and the upper class families were worried about social climbing of mestizo competitors, because mestizo had that mixed race of Spanish and indigenous. Some of them had access to education or some other privileges that the European descent had. So many of the people who were pure European were worried about them climbing the social ladder. So the new system had 2 basic class categories to make sure that people stay in their place. It was white, who were called decent people, at the top, and the common people, or el pueblo or povo in Portuguese. So pueblo means the common people in Spanish, and povo means the common people in Portuguese. European norms define civilized, stylish, and decent. So everything that was European was considered stylish, civilized, and decent. And they say at this time, all the people at the top, the elite, they will always wear the latest fashions from France, from Paris. In 1825 to 1850, politically unstable years that you will see, and economically, and it was a very static time, economically. Some of the counter currents, the power of outsiders. Only Cuba and Puerto Rico remained Spanish colonies. Latin America was highly receptive to European influence, especially from France and England. And both liberals and conservatives regarded the United States, as the model to follow. U.S. trade grows stronger, and so did the administration of U.S. technology and prosperity. And you'll see that Latin America will see the U.S. as a model, after this time. Latin America was weak in export and import. And Peru boomed with the export of guano, and guano is like the poop, right, of seabird. So it's a seabird manure that was used as a fertilizer, and it became very popular with European farmers. And this money that was coming in by selling bird poop really helped the government because they were able to build an infrastructure, like the railroads, they got gas lighting and other urban improvements in Peru. The Mexican government made a mistake in allowing slave-holding U.S. Southerners to settle in Texas, which was part of the, Mexican government. And these settlers, they start outnumbering the Mexicans, and they rebelled against the Mexicans. In 1836, declared Texas as an independent republic, and they were determined to preserve slavery, which in Mexico was already abolished in 1829. Although they were defeated in the Battle of Alamo, the Anglo-Texans won the war and remained independent for almost a decade. And Mexico did not want to recognize Texas's independence, so then Texas became a U.S. state in 1845. And fighting began again. In 1848, the U.S. troops occupied Mexico City and took a huge win from the war. They were able to control massive amounts of land that would become the future states of New Mexico, Arizona, Nevada, Colorado, and Utah, along with California and Texas. So let me show you the map. So this is the map. Mexico had to give up all this land in 1848. So you can see parts of, you have California, Nevada, Utah, Arizona, part of New Mexico, and part of Colorado too. So that's it for chapter 5. I hope you learned something, and then I'll see you next time for chapter 6. Bye.